Well, Dave, I'm sure that win today probably feels as good as any of the wins over Wrexham or Bolton because of the conditions today.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the conditions are a level there, because I think the quality and the standard of the league is pretty level anyway. But it can open up the fact that sometimes luck will decide a game, and elements and mistakes, and the biggest fear is that that's the case, especially against you. Thankfully, the weather was tough, but not as tough as maybe what it could have been and what it's been elsewhere. But I thought our second half performance was brilliant. In terms of functionality, we played in their half of the pitch, but we against the wind, we gained real territory and were the ones that were constantly knocking on the door. I'm not sure what efforts they've had against us, but our second half performance was deserving of winning the game.
You probably could have won by more, actually, and I thought you should have had a penalty, the foul on Will.
There's a few strange ones. I think when decisions either go in your favour or a toss of a coin, then you're always going to look on the side that benefit you, aren't you? We'll look back at that. Listen, I think with referees and with officials in general, the main hope is that if they get decisions wrong, which they'll make mistakes just as everybody else does, that it doesn't cost you the game, and that's not cost us the game on this occasion. So I'll be probably more happy than maybe I would have if we'd not have won the game or had lost the game. But there were, like I say, the thing's gone. I'm the biggest pleasing thing for me is how we went about it in the second half after a first half where we were just a little bit off it. You
lost Fraser Horsfall as well in the first half. How is he?
Yeah, I've not seen him, but apparently just a little bit of like blurred vision, double vision type thing, a little bit of dizziness. From what we've seen and from what he says, not from a collision or a head-on-head or just came on during the game. So we'll see how he is over the next couple of days, but I would hope that it's nothing too serious. There's certainly nothing happened in the game where you think, oh, that looks like it might have caused that. So a bit of a mystery, one we'll get to the bottom of.
You reacted very quickly to that setback, though, because you changed your system as well, didn't you? What were you thinking at that point? Yeah,
we came into the game ultimately not really knowing what Exeter would do, because they've done lots of different things in terms of their shape and how they've built. They look back to the game against Bolton, they built almost a 4-2-2 with two withdrawn forwards and width on the top line and wide areas. They've built, as they did today, with a sort of 3-2-2-3. We knew that would happen, but the personnel we had on the pitch, we just felt more suited for us to be a rigid 4 and almost go 4-2-2. We were doing it with Cal Connolly going into midfield and being alongside Beattie and Will and Campsey pushed on and Woods and Louis sort of playing outside shoulders. So you make a choice there as to how you go about things. I think if McGuinness had been on the pitch, then it would have been a like-for-like swap without question. But because they weren't playing him and they were playing Millie up front, then we thought that mobility-wise, we could go with a smaller pair of centre-backs and try and get us higher up the pitch. I think that was one of our bits that let us down a little bit in the first half. I just thought, again, it's a tiny thing, but as a back line, we were maybe 5 or 6 yards, which is not a huge amount, too deep, which allowed them, on the odd occasion, to play through us. And the chances that we had came from when we forced them into mistakes. We've got better opportunities to force them into mistakes if we're higher up the pitch and we're making the pitch smaller. I just thought that could have... and at half-time, that was the main message, really. Can we be braver and get up the pitch and really go and jump on them? To be fair, we dealt with it at source from their goalkeeper and back line, which forced them to kick it forward, and we dealt with that and won first contacts and picked up second balls and had territory for the majority of that second half, which was really, really pleasing.
No Macca today, how is he?
Okay, a little bit of a cough,
right.
And if the game had been, or the game wasn't on Wednesday, then maybe the decision made would have been different. But I think by him missing a game, or worst case scenario 2 games, then I don't think it affects anything moving further forward. We've had like I say, over the course of the last 3-4 weeks, we've had decisions to make over Macca and Ryan, who have come back from long-term injuries. What we don't want to do, especially with Noilly potentially back in the fold, not in the next few weeks, is then lose another one. We've lost a couple over the last few days. Lewis Fiorini got a bad cut on his foot, which he's had stitches in, but he should be fine. And Jaden Fevrier's Jaden has tweaked the quad, which again is more severe than we thought in training. So he'll be out for a little time. So little bits, little niggles. What we don't want to do is push people too far and force them problems ourselves, because we're into a busy time of the year.
Just finally, of course, looking ahead now to next week, Bradford City come here in the trophy. I know you're going to make changes, but do you kind of look differently now we're at the knockout stage of the competition? It's a much maligned competition, but you get out of the group, suddenly Wembley looms large, doesn't it?
Not at the minute, it doesn't. And no, I don't look differently at it. But I still doesn't take away from the fact that I've just said to the players now, I don't say this on a whim. It's our most important game of the season. And it's our most important game of the season because the lads who are playing on Tuesday need to play. Yeah. And they need to push the lads that are at the moment starting. So we're coming into a period where we're going to play a lot of games over a Christmas and New Year period. And the depth of our squad becomes important. I want the lads who play on Tuesday to show their value. The result, again, isn't important to me, but the performance is, and how they go about that performance, because I know what value they add. They've got to show me that value. Hence why I stress that we'll be off tomorrow, but Monday morning all focus is on that game. And fingers crossed that's the case. Like I say, they've not taken the opportunities. They've not shown the best versions of themselves on the last couple of occasions that happens. I'm really wanting that to be the case. And listen, there won't be many people in here. And like I say, it's not a competition that's hugely supported. So they're going to have to create their own atmosphere. They're going to have to sort of accept that playing in front of 10,000, 9,000 isn't going to happen. It's probably going to be closer to 900. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't take away the importance of the game and what it means to me around what I want to see from those players. And like, hopefully that's the case.
4 wins out of 5, another clean sheet. Well done.